Hello, I'm back, and welcome to Porch Puppy Comics, where if you can't run with the big dogs, stay on the porch, you all. I'm KJ with you this morning, and as I said it before, I'm back. This is episode 36, and we're going to have a long haul Monday this week. As I said, I've done some trading with Brother Rob. Brother Mike and I went up there to see Brother Rob up there at BME, y'all. Book and Music Exchange in Owensboro, Kentucky. Look, you need to go up there and pay Brother Rob and Josh a visit. Great books, great people. And it's just real good stuff. And, just go up there and check them out. Got some great, fantastic case books. I have so much stuff I just had to walk away. But I think you ought to go in and check them out. If the Lord bless, if you're ever in Owensboro, Kentucky, that's the place you need to go. Book and Music Exchange. And we thank the Lord again. And we're going to show you, I picked up some books. And these particular books that I'm going to show you now, these are the reader books. These are a little bit smaller than the ones that we're used to. The ones that came out back in the late 60s, early 70s. These here are a run of G.I. Joe, the original G.I. Joe from 1973. And these particular books have this, it says book and record in them. And they do have the records in them. There's a total of 4 that I ended up getting, but there are 2 of the same books, and you'll see here in a moment. But this one here is, I guess they have the numbers right up on top as far as when you could order them. I guess this one is 1965, another one is 1968, and the other 2 I'll be showing will be 1966. That's the book number. And as you can tell, these here, this is, like I said, it's old school G.I. Joe. And these books here, they do have, where am I at here? Here we go. They do have the records in them. You can tell by the art and everything that's in them. Haven't tried the record. The record looks pretty good. Don't look real scratched or nothing like that. A 45, of course. And both of them are in the books. That one is in the back. This one is in the front. And I picked these up in a lot. Just something weird, something different. I told you I like collecting strange stuff. And if I get tired of them, I may take and trade them. If the trade is good. These are the other 2. The ones, the 1966. Exact same book. But the only difference is between these are the records in the front and the ones in the back. Why, I have no idea. But these here are just regular, standard, old school G.I. Joes like we grew up with, and they come up with their own little team that they had. And it was pretty good, but I thought these would be neat to show. And you can see just by looking at them, they're still a nice book. They still in nice shape to present well. I have to get probably a magazine size bag and board to put them in. Silver Age doesn't work. Maybe a Golden Age bag and board may work. You can put it in the comments. And as they always say too, as I'm thinking about it, be sure to like, subscribe, share, ring that notification bell. And as I told you, we're going to be trying to put out some more content here and there. Maybe not putting out quite as many books, because I did quite a bit of trading with Brother Rob on yesterday. Quite a bit of trading. It was stuff I had to leave that, as I said before, I'm trying to fine-tune my collection. Just stuff that I just don't want to be grabbing up a bunch of stuff that I'm going to have to try to catalog and then store and different things like that. You want to be able to read it and enjoy your books, but also collecting the things that you've been wanting to collect. And I think I'm leaning more towards nostalgia right now. Stuff that I used to have, if I can pick it up pretty decent at the price point. The Porch Puppy price point, I can pick it up that way. But again, these are the G.I. Joes. And I kind of like them. Like I said, the art's not, but from 1973 and to still be in this condition. And if I run across somebody that has a record player that can play a 45, I might have to go ahead and see if the record, because you ought to be able to follow along with these books just like you could with the Marvel and the DCs and the others. They also have a list with this particular company. It's the Peter Pan Company that's got a list of other book and records that you can get listed on the inside of it. Even has G.I. Joe talking to you on the back of it, telling the parents what's up. And the only one that's out of this full set, there's another one called The Stolen Idol, and that's the only one out of the full set. So, but like I said, I ended up with 2 Mummy's Tombs, so it is what it is. So maybe, like I said, one day we'll end up and turn around and trade them for something. Maybe. We shall see. Let us move on. Got quite a few books here to show you in the long haul. Let's start with these 2 Neal Adams joints here. Now, as I said before, a lot of the Neal Adams books, let me pull this back a little bit so y'all can get the full view. A little adjust, because as I said, those G.I. Joes were just a little bit smaller than your average book. And let's see. All right. Now, these 2 particular books are Neal Adams books that came out back in the 90s. Nighthawk, another kind of Batman-ish type character. Of course, he's carrying 2 pistols. Decent book, collected it back in the day. This next one is a Rise of Magic. They had a continuity thing going on where all this Rise of Magic storyline was running through all the continuity comic books. And Shaman, this guy here is riding a huge Brahma bull, and it's got a 5-page introduction by Neal Adams. And so I just thought it was kind of cool because, a lot of the Neal Adams books that you can't get, the older stuff, at least, affordable. So it's good to pick up them every once in a while. And would you believe, folks, comic book community, that these 2 books came out of a 10-pack, a 10-pack of comics for $2.99. And sometimes, like I said, Ollie's, I've been watching a lot of the unboxings and unbaggings with the Ollie's books and different things, but it's another shop up in Owensboro called Big Bang, and they've got Marvel's, DC's, Independence, and they price range go anywhere between $2.99 and I think $3.99. Don't hold me to that, y'all, but I think that's what it is. But other than that, man, I mean, the books are fine. There's no spine ticks. Corners are sharp on them. And then, like I said before, these I have collected back in the day, and it's Neal Adams art and story. So, I just wanted to go ahead and keep up with it here on the Long Haul Monday. These are 2 books also that I was looking for while I was up there. Future Quest featuring Space Ghost. I always like the serious looking Space Ghost. I don't care too much about the coast to coast Space Ghost, but this particular one I do like, and I do like the art on the inside. I like the painted covers, and I mean, it's just great. But I've always liked Space Ghost as a character itself, within himself, and I think it's one more to finish up his storyline, and then I think it branches off into the Herculoids, and these are 1960s superheroes from Hanna-Barbera that we all grew up with, and so these are the books that I like. Our next 2 books, you might have seen this Marvel Comics 1000, but that particular Captain America cover, and pardon the glare, y'all, that particular Captain America cover with him fighting the Nazis on here. I mean, then you got Submariner in the background and Torch back there. Submariner lifting up a tank. This particular cover here caught my eye, and just the way it's got, kind of got an old look to it, but it's just a nice book. And then these particular books that the Marvel and DC come through, I've been trying to pick those up. And when I saw this one, that Silver Surfer and Superman, I haven't had this book in my collection for years. There's I think also a Green Lantern Silver Surfer. There's several other ones that crosses over, but these are the particular books I like picking up, and they, like I say, keep in my collection. And so, I think this was a great haul going on thus far. Let's move on. Check these two out. Now, you could always find the Amalgam Dark Claw, this one here. You could always find that one, but in the Dark Claw Adventures, you never could find them. At least we couldn't down on this end. So when I ran across it and I saw it, I said I had to pick it up, because it's a good setup and the character, and then it's drawn in the style of the old, Batman Adventures. And it's a good read. Both of these books were great reads. Out of all the amalgam that they had, these two to me were the best. They've had some other great ones, some other good ones, but not on this par. And I enjoyed these considerably. You remember I told you, I think in a short that I did, that there was a book that came out called Magnaman, The Last Superhero. Well, Magnaman, I'm going to show you all three of these. Here's issue 1, issue 2, and issue number 3. And it's a self-contained story. It all finishes up in these 3 issues. And with this particular character, the interior in these books are black and white. And it's, nothing to write home to mother about, it's a $1.95 price point originally when it come out, put out by Comics Interview back in the day. And it's a good story. Like I said, right now I'm just collecting for nostalgia, collecting for the story, collecting for the art. And I dig this particular character. Characters were different, some similar but not the same skill sets as some of your other favorite, more well-known characters. But this one here, this is a nice little, just sit down, turn your brain off and read it. It's a nice book. It's something, if you ever run across it in the dollar bin, I advise you to pick it up. It's just one of those things. You might end up liking it. I couldn't even believe. I'm looking at another set just to have another, just in case. But as you can tell, if you can look at these, the spine, there's no spine ticks, the corners on them, the books are pretty near perfect. So I really enjoyed those, y'all. If you can get them and keep them in your collection, oh my goodness, what are you going to have? Our scripture reading this morning, you all, in the comic book community, will be coming from Lamentations. Lamentations, the 3rd chapter, starting at the 22nd verse, and it reads, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." 24th verse, "The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him." 26th verse, "It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord." May the Lord bless the reading and the hearing of his holy word. Again, comic book community, that's Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 through 26. But I've always advised you to read the entire chapter. If you're taking these scriptures down, it'll do you some good. I'm telling you, there's nothing like the word of God to strengthen a person in this day and time. So back to the books. All right. What we got here? We're still moving pretty good. Get Mega Man lined out. All right, you all. These next 2 books I've, been looking for a little while in the Long Haul Monday. Check these out on the docket. Now, this Hawkeye, Earth's Mightiest Marksman, is a book, and it never, always seen it, always passed it up, but I'm a huge Taskmaster fan. I always liked the character, like his skill set, and but then he's in here, and I said, well, I'm gonna just pick this one up, and got it for a decent price. Again, I wouldn't have it if it wasn't in the puppy price point, so to speak. But this book here was cool. Now, he's doing battle with the Taskmaster and some other villains on the inside of this, and there's cameos of the Thunderbolts in there. I don't know if this is during the time where he was the leader of the Thunderbolts at that particular time after Baron Zemo had been unmasked, at that particular time. I'm not for sure. I can't remember. But then it's a still, if you see it, I advise you to pick it up. It's a great book. And then we have here Megaton. And this Megaton here is part of that run that I showed you that came out back in the 80s. And this particular book here is a Wizard Ace edition, which it's got this acetate cover on it. And this is the original acetate cover of the original Megaton 3. Now, I told you I had a 1 and a 2, and I think I had a 4 and maybe a 5, but I didn't have a 3. Had a 3 back when this book first came out years ago. But this particular book is the first appearance of this little green giant right here, Mr. Savage Dragon himself. And it's a black and white book. He's fighting Vanguard in this one. Vanguard never did reach any kind of prominence like the rest of the characters did back in the day. But as you can see, Savage Dragon is still going. I think him and Spawn is yet in the running, I think, for the next, the longest consecutive run for an artist and a writer for a comic series. But always liked Savage Dragon, always liked this particular run, and if I ever found this particular book, it's always been somewhat, for me, unattainable because of the price. Even with this particular one, the original is just astronomical. I mean, if you got $70, $80, $100 something, you want to, you got burning a hole in your pocket, you collecting this, you looking for Megaton, and you want to pick it up, hey, my hat's off to you, man. Jump on it, But Porch Puppy couldn't handle that. That was just a little bit too much. But those are the ones there. That's a Hawkeye, Earth's Mightiest Marksman, and Megaton. Next books we have on the docket, you all, in the Long Haul Monday. Ghost, her first appearance. Interesting character. And this is a dark horse. We used to call it Dark Pony back in the day. But she made her appearance in this Comics Greatest World number 3. It's week 3. And she's an interesting character. I tried to collect it, but again, these particular books was also in that particular, was that 10 for $3 bag? Might as well say $2.99, $3 bag. And they running at I looked them up, they running at a decent price. I mean, but when you can get them for the cheap, and this is her first appearance, well, hey, you might as well just go ahead and keep it, because it ain't gonna hurt nothing. And if you can get them in a stack like that, oh my goodness, man, that's bonus all the way around. I'm telling you, I had done so much trading with Brother Rob, and I'm telling you, I've got quite a bit of stuff we're gonna have stuff popping up here and there for a little while. And let me just go ahead while I'm showing y'all these books since we're here. And you remember I was needing this particular book right here. Rob threw that one in for me. That's part 2 of that Spider-Man X-Force team up, or the crossover they call it. And I said, man, I told him I appreciate it. And it's a newsstand. There's several books in this whole stuff that's a newsstand. And some of them I have yet to get bags and boards for. I mean, I like I said, I had to leave some stuff, you all. He had so much stuff there. I like, great day. How am I going to keep up with all this stuff? A book that he found for me that I've been looking for was the second issue of Young All-Stars. and he was holding that one for me. So now I've got 1 through 8 if I decide to pursue the rest of the run. But these I just wanted because of the way they had the cover set up and the characters. They used to have floating heads back in the day, but then they put the full characters up there, from the 1940s characters. And let me see. Let me move these out of the way. Set them to the side, you all. These were another couple of books that was in those bags. Yes, I know, everybody's got a Turok Chromium. But guess what? Porch Puppy didn't have one. And this book here from King Comics, this book here is from the 1970s. See, somebody got their name wrote on it, looked like Caitlin. But it's funny. This book here is funny indeed. And for this book to be such a off-the-wall type comic book, it's got some decent little cartoony art in it. And I said, I told my wife, I was showing her, and we was kind of got a good laugh out of it. And so I told her, I said, I guess I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Now, as you can see, it's written on, it's got spine ticks, it's got a small rip right here in the cover. The cover's dirty. I'm not going to sit up here and go through the motions and say, oh, it can probably use a cleaning and everything. And knowing good well, I'm not going to get the books clean. That's just not Porch Puppy. It's just not what I do. I'll just go ahead and take them like they are. And it'll, be in the collection, get it out, read it, have a good chuckle every now and then. And then we can move on from there. Our last 2 books of the day. Hook 181 facsimile and Black Panther #1 variant. I like this particular run. This Black Panther right here is I'm not going to keep up with the series. I just saw this cover and I liked the cover and I went on and got it. That's probably be the only book I'll end up getting out of this particular run. He's in kind of, I call it an outside the palace, outside the kingdom, in like a city that's, something like New York or Chicago or Detroit or places like that is what it looks like. So, he's got himself all, his suit all painted up, like a warrior's, got some of the warrior's garb on it. And he's just trying to, keep his little, well, I guess you would say, as far as he's not the king anymore, but yet and still, he wants to be a protector to all of Wakanda. So, that's the gist of the story right there. And then, of course, what can you say about Hook 180? Look, I've had the original at one time. I've had a 181 several times. I think I've even had a 182, never all at once. So now I've got the facsimiles, and the facsimiles will do me fine. I know Comic Tom and them was doing had a conversation that they think that maybe the facsimiles, they asked the question, was the facsimiles driving down the price of the original books? And I doubt that seriously. But this gives the people a chance that want to own the original copies and can't afford them. A $3.99, you paying $4, for a facsimile. But this is considering with the difference of the price, the $3.99 price, and then the barcode down here and the little Marvel insignia down there. The book is all original, right down to the advertisements inside the book. It also has the cameo of Wolverine at the very end of the book. And it'll pair up nicely with my 181 facsimile. And I guess I just have to find me a 182 facsimile, and then I'll have the trifecta. And it don't hurt me to have a facsimile, because like I said, some of the books I've had a long time ago, had picked them up, and then had to get rid of them for, well, like we said, life happens. But it is what it is, you all. And I yet thank the Lord for being able to do this. I'm going to try to pace myself this time. I listened to my wife, trying to pace myself this time and not try to put so much stuff out because, like I said, it's been in pretty much dry dock since we got back from York, Pennsylvania. And it's been so much stuff going on in the family, outside the family. And so, it was just good to put some stuff out, put some content out. If it be the will of the Lord, I'm going to try to do at least 2 more videos between now and the weekend. And but like I said, as long as I've got stuff to work with, we'll push back in, ease into it slowly, you all, for the long haul. The new to me comic book Wednesdays, the pickle barrel. The pickle barrel, you may end up with 2 pickle barrels in the course of the week, But what I'm trying to do is put out some stuff, some nice books. I picked up some stuff. Brother Rob, y'all, I thank the Lord for that, brother. What he does, and he looks at every one of the videos. He enjoys the scriptures, him and his family, and I appreciate that. And that's why I always tell you to like, comment, and subscribe. I thank the Lord for the thumbs up. I thank the Lord for the 46 subscribers. The algorithms I know may not be favorable, for this particular type of setup. But, I'm still just trying to put out something, nice, something, that you want to come in and look. I'm just an old school collector. And I said, I'm here to, share with you whom I love in Jesus Christ and what I like in the comic books. So I've got so much stuff. He's done helped me try to get my Crisis on Infinite Earths together. He finished up my Legends collection for me. A ROM I was looking for, an annual. I was looking for that. Folks, I have got some stuff here, books that I have been looking for on eBay, and he had them here, and the trade was massive. Me and him was trading, the trading was massive. And when he looks at the videos, if he hear me say, well, I'm looking for this particular comic or I'm looking for this particular set, he goes through and he'll look in his shop or he'll look in his own collection and pull out stuff. Let me show this last book before I close out. This is another one he got for me. He heard me say it. Captain America 254. This is the last part of the story that I've been looking for with Baron Blood. This is the one where Cap literally takes his shield and beheads Baron Blood. I believe it also introduces the second or the third Union Jack, which is another character I've always liked from the old Invaders days. But this was the book, as you can tell. You can look at it. It's a 50-cent price point. It's a newsstand. The book is sharp, y'all. And it finishes up, this particular run for me for this Captain America. And art, again, is done by John Byrne. So, there's just a lot of stuff. And we will get to it if it be the will of the Lord. And like I said, I'm going to just take my time. Not going to be too overly anxious. And because, the trading we done was I took up a short box, come home with a short box. And I thank the Lord for the brother. I thank the Lord for the trade. I always there's not a lot of people that still go around doing a lot of trading, you all. And that makes it nice for me. I did spend a little cash with them as well, because, you don't mind trading and spending a little cash, people that's going to, cut you some deals here and there and work with you. I'm not saying that I'm just what they call just cheap, but I'll enjoy the hobby, but I don't want to get to the point to where I'm just sinking so much money into it, to where, I know a lot of people, they got things they subsidize, and I haven't got there to that point, may not ever get there to that point, to where they got things that they can do, they can subsidize, and they got, Patreons and different things like that. But I just want to show the books, just want the comic book community to enjoy what I'm enjoying, see what we got, see what different tastes we got, and, just check it out. So, again, I appreciate you for tuning in to episode 36 for Porch Puppet Comics, Long Haul Mondays. I'm back, you all. I'm back. So, we just thank the Lord for you. And remember, 2 things, again, only Jesus can fill that void in your life, in your heart, in your soul. Only Jesus can fill that void. Nothing else can. Don't fool yourself. Don't let nobody else fool you. Don't get it twisted. Only Jesus can do that. And the second thing we always say, it's nice here on the porch. God bless you, comic book community. Have a good morning.